What's up, my fellow miners? Today we're going to talk about the 1080, and is this still a card that you should be looking for mining? Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure you guys are hitting the thumbs up, subscribe if you guys are new. The 1080. This is a rather old card at this point. You were talking about a card that came out 4 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And I'm not talking about the 1080 Ti, I'm talking about the 1080. The 1080 itself is still a relatively solid card for gaming. So whether you are looking to game at 1080p and you don't really care about ray tracing, nothing like that, this is still a very, very solid card. You're still going to get high FPS and, you know, all the bells and whistles minus the ray tracing aspect of things. The 1080, as far as mining goes, the best thing it mines is Ethereum. And according to profitability calculator, which is what we use to be able to determine the profitability of the cards, just because it converts it to Bitcoin profitability, or, you know, Bitcoin payments, to kind of keep everything in sort of a control field. According to NiceHash profitability, as of this recording, it mines about, after electricity costs. So if we put electricity costs at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, which is what it is in my state, the profitability cost is about $2.60, which is rough at $2.60 a day, which is roughly almost $80 a month. Now, should you buy this? If you are looking to game as well as mine, it is a solid option considering how everything else is just through the roof for pricing at the moment. If you want a 20 series card, they're ridiculously priced. If you want a 30 series card, again, they're ridiculously priced. The 10 series cards are a little bit more affordable. You have the 1060 6 gig, which we did. I did a video on that. So you can go ahead and check that out. The 1066 gig, as of this recording, goes for anywhere between $200 to $300, depending on how many people are bidding on that card. And this one right here, I actually managed to get this for $400. The 1080 I got for $400. If you can get a 1080 for $400, I would say go for it. At $400, you're getting a very solid card still for gaming, and it's a solid card for mining Ethereum specifically. Things that you have to keep in mind when you're buying cards, especially older cards, is the profitability, return on investment. How long will it take you to make your money back? So if you buy this card for $400, all right, so let's say 400, and we're going to divide that by $80, because that's $80 per month. How many months is it going to take you? It's going to take you 5 months before you make your money back on this card. That's assuming that things stay the same where they are currently. Now, things could go in the upswing, which then you'll be making more money on it, or they could go in the downswing, which you'll be making less money. But if it stays where it's at as of this video, it would take you about 5 months to mine this out, or well, to make your profit back on this. I will be mining on this card. Currently, using Dagger Hashimoto to mine Ethereum on this, it gets an average of 37 megahash per second at 135 watts. Now, that'll vary depending on the card. That varies depending on your settings for overclocking. It also depends on whether or not you are using ETH Largement Pill to mine on this. You know, if you're not using ETH Largement Pill, you're going to be mining less. So that's some things to keep in mind as well. Again, like I said, this is a very, very solid card still to this day for gaming and even for mining. But again, you have to be aware of how much you're buying the card for. I bought this card for $400 for a couple of reasons. I am going to be building another PC for my wife, where I'm going to be putting this card in there for her. And until that happens, I'm going to be mining on it a bit. And once I have that PC built, I will be mining on this when she's not using the PC for gaming or anything like that. So I will get my money's worth out of this, and either, you know, gaming or mining, either way, I will get my money's worth out of this. So it's just some things to keep in mind when you're buying old cards like this. Also, something to keep in mind: make sure that the cards are in good shape. You don't want to see like burn marks over here on the edging, because typically if the cards are overworked, you'll see some stains on here, and the stains that you'll see is it'll change the color into like a dark colorization. You can't really see it too well, but there's no odd colorization going on around here on the access ports. So that's something you want to pay attention to. You want to make sure there's no burn marks on the board itself where it connects to the PCIe slots. Okay, so make sure that there's no burn marks. You'll see if there's burn marks, you'll see again discolorization around the slot. You want to, if you buy these cards, you want to make sure that they have been taken apart to reapply thermal paste and thermal pads. This card was taken apart, and they did reapply new thermal pads and thermal paste on it. If it does not, you'll see the seal right here. This is the warranty seal. You'll see that is still closed up. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and you reapply new thermal pads and new thermal paste, because most likely they are worn out from the age of the card. Not even specifically if the card was being mined on or anything like that. The person who I bought this card from said that it wasn't mined on. They rarely use it, but I mean, they're all going to say that. So if it was mined on, I don't see any indication of any excessive use. I don't see any indication of any massive wear and tear. Like I said, there's no burn marks. There's no discoloration back here. The heat sink looks good. There's no physical damage to the card. Everything looks really good. The port where you go ahead and you plug in the power, it looks good. So far everything checks out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna connect this and test it out for myself. But I mean, eBay buyer protection either way. But there's some things you want to keep in mind. So reapply thermal pads, thermal paste. You want to make sure that you have the longevity of the life of your card just as maximum as you possibly can. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Everybody, happy mining.